up, guys? So now that I'm back from the Venice Film Festival and we're fully into like the fall film festival circuit, I feel like I've seen enough awards contenders for the 2024 Oscars to start getting a grasp on certain races as to who I think is going to be nominated in the acting categories, for best film, for screenplays and all that. So it's time for me to start making some awards season content for you guys. Oh yes, and I want to kick things off with one of the categories which is always one of my favorites, and I want to start off with Best Actress because it's so chaotic, this category, but I'm so here for it. Like, this year, we have so many options for Best Actress already, okay? This is shaping up to be a really stacked year. And so, yeah, I just want to do an early video on it now because we've still got like 6 months to go, maybe even longer until the Oscars. It could be delayed, the Oscars, because of the whole Writers Guild strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike as well. So, yeah, there's a long distance to go until the Oscars and there's still a lot to see. But yeah, this category I am exceptionally excited for, okay? We have so many wonderful leading lady performances to discuss. So this video is essentially a nice super early discussion video about who our potential contenders are going to be for Best Actress. I'm just going to talk about some of the performances that I've seen, some that I've yet to see but are on my radar, and then I'm going to give you some predictions towards the end of the video as to who I currently think is going to be in Best Actress next year. But remember, it could all change. It always does. But please do get involved in the comment section below. I would love to hear your Best Actress predictions. And please do let me know if you have any specific requests for any particular categories that you'd like to see me do a deep dive on. I really enjoyed talking about the Oscars with you guys. So yeah, please let me know what you'd like to see from me. I'm more than happy to listen to your requests. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so I saw at least 5 performances at the Venice Film Festival alone that could qualify for a Best Actress nomination at the Oscars. The most obvious, and the one that I believe is the most likeliest to secure a Best Actress nomination at the Oscars, goes to Emma Stone for her career best performance in Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things. Pretty much everybody that you spoke to at the Venice Film Festival thought that Emma Stone was gonna win the Volpe Cup for Best Actress at Venice, but Poor Things was such a runaway hit at Venice that it ended up winning the Golden Lion. And the rule is if you win the Golden Lion, the film can't win any other awards at Venice. So it's either going to be Poor Things wins the Golden Lion or Emma Stone wins the Volpe Cup. And it ended up winning the top prize anyways, which bodes well for its chances of being a Best Picture contender as well. But yeah, Emma Stone has emerged as a serious Best Actress contender now. The character of Bella Baxter is sure to be one of Emma Stone's most iconic roles, one of the roles that she will be best remembered for. It's an absolute go-for-broke performance, and Stone manages to condense 30 years worth of character growth and development into one performance. She is fearless in this role, and it's a performance where she gets to show off so much of her skill set because she is very funny in this, but there are times where her performance is quite devastating. Bella Baxter would have been a challenging part for anyone playing it, but Stone throws herself into it with abandon. And yes, it is a weird and unorthodox performance in a genre film, but I honestly wouldn't put it past Emma Stone to overcome that whole genre bias curse and actually end up winning her second ever Best Actress Oscar for this role. And now that it's won the Golden Lion, I have a strong suspicion that Poor Things is going to be a heavy hitter at next year's Oscars. I think it's going to receive a very big nominations package, and I don't think you can't have Emma Stone not be a part of that package. She is the life force of Poor Things, okay? She's getting nominated for this role. If she somehow missed, then yeah, there would be an uproar. Another Venice performance to watch out for is Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor in Ava DuVernay's Origin. This hard-hitting docudrama about author Isabel Wilkerson could land Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor her second nomination. Her first was for supporting actress in King Richard. It's a very measured performance from Ellis-Taylor, one with a lot of heartache and a lot of tragedy. And the way that Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor plays it is just so delicate. Like, it's not a big, showy performance. Like, she plays it small and it's just so beautiful and impactful. I actually think it's a performance that's more in line with the Academy's taste, but I actually feel more confident about Emma Stone getting in to Best Actress than I do Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor at the moment. But that's not to say that they both can't get in, I just feel a bit more confident about Emma Stone. But yeah, Origin is an important, topical, and powerful film from Ava DuVernay, and who knows, we could see Ellis-Taylor show up in Best Actress. I have to say that Carey Mulligan is certainly a hot contender for Best Actress now that I've seen Maestro. The fact that she is top billed in Bradley Cooper's film, it feels like a statement that she is a co-lead in this film and she will be going for lead actress. And now that I've seen the film, I can confirm that it is just as much her film as it is his. If they do as she said and switch Mulligan over to supporting, it's not going to look very good on her having 2 back-to-back years where people are questioning the validity of whether or not she's in the right category. Is she lead? Is she supporting? All this flipping and flopping, we don't need it. But I will say this about Mulligan, she's more prominent in the second half of the film. Okay, that is where she really shines. And the thing with Carey Mulligan is she's one of those actresses that never feels the need to show off. She prefers to play it small and let the drama and the emotion speak for itself without having to like raise her voice or go big. Also, this just feels like an Academy Award nominated performance, okay? It feels very much like their cup of tea. It's a biopic movie and she's playing the inspirational female figure to a great man, and yeah, it's kind of giving me the vibes of Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans. At the moment, I don't feel confident saying this is going to be the performance that wins Carey Mulligan her first Oscar, but I do feel confident that it's going to be nominated. I think Maestro is a film that the Academy is going to love, and I think they're going to give it a fair few nominations, and I don't think you can nominate Bradley Cooper for Best Actor without also nominating Carey Mulligan for Best Actress, because it really is a pairing, this film. Okay, so like I said in my glowing review of Richard Linklater's Hitman, I'm not sure yet whether Adria Arjona would put herself up for lead or supporting actress. I think she'd have a better chance in supporting actress, but yes, you can definitely make the argument that she is leading in this film. But yeah, I don't actually feel confident on Adria Arjona getting into the acting categories this year just because they're all crowded and because Hitman has a lightheartedness to it, and also it's not got the backing of a big distributor yet. I feel like it's going to struggle to get nominations. So yeah, Adria Arjona is one on the peripheries, but not someone I actually feel confident will get a nomination, even though I thought she was fan-freaking-tastic in Hitman. Another one from Venice to mention is Jessica Chastain in Memory, but I haven't actually seen this film yet. I left before the press screening, but I heard good things about it, but the real focus of the film seems to be on Peter Sarsgaard, who won Best Actor Volpe Cup at Venice for this performance. So is it going to be baity enough for Jessica Chastain to get into Best Actress? I don't know. I haven't seen the film yet, but yeah, we'll wait and see. She's definitely one I'm keeping an eye out for. And speaking of Volpe Cup winners, we have to discuss Cailee Spaeney, who won the Best Actress Volpe Cup at Venice for her turn as Priscilla Presley in Sofia Coppola's Priscilla. I have to admit, guys, okay, I was shocked that she won the Best Actress Volpe Cup at Venice. I actually thought she was going to win the Emerging Rising Star prize that they give out at Venice. But yeah, when it turned out she won the Best Actress Volpe Cup, I was a little surprised by it. And I know some people really loved her performance. Some people thought absolutely just and deserved. But for me personally, and this is just one bloke's opinion, okay, it's subjective, I wasn't floored by her performance. I thought she was good, but there were moments in the film where there were particularly emotional moments, and I actually thought Cailee Spaeney could have taken a little bit further. I wanted to have a more emotional reaction to it, and she didn't quite get me there, and that's just me though, okay? I'm sure plenty of other people, you know, were moved by her performance, but for me, it just didn't quite get me to where I wanted the performance to take me, if that makes sense. And also, when I left the film, I didn't have that knee-jerk reaction that, oh, this is a Best Actress nominated performance. So yeah, that's why when she won, I was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, even though she is a newcomer, I do have to take her seriously in the Best Actress race because the last 10 years, 5 out of the 10 Best Actress Volpe Cup winners went on to be nominated at the Oscars for the same performance. So yeah, I do have to take her seriously. But yeah, I'm not sure if I see her in my 5 just yet. She's a pretty fresh face. But yeah, it's not to say that she can't. Just I didn't have the knee-jerk reaction. I didn't have that gut feeling like I did for Emma Stone or Carey Mulligan. Now, Margot Robbie for Barbie is a funny one. Like, it's not an assured prediction at the moment, because while Barbie has absolutely been the runaway success story at both the box office and in pop culture this year, there is still that sort of lingering sense of stigma that would the Academy go for it? Like, are the Academy thinking, are we really gonna give a Best Actress nomination to someone who's bringing a doll to life? Like, is it serious enough for them? But yeah, Amy Adams couldn't get the nomination for playing a similar role when she played Giselle in the movie Enchanted. I know she's in a Disney rom-com, but that performance would have been absolutely deserving. Margot Robbie in Barbie is also deserving as well, but in such a crowded field this year with so many incredible performances, even I wonder, if I only had 5 slots, would I give one of those slots to someone playing a doll coming to life? Or would I give it to someone who gives maybe a more raw, emotionally devastating performance like Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor? It's tough. But Margot Robbie does have some incredible emotional moments in Barbie, such as the scene where she's sitting on the bench with the old woman. Her physicality in the film was very well realized, and she's also playing an iconic character. If Barbie gets a Best Picture nomination, and I believe it's gonna happen, she is gonna receive her first Oscar nomination for producing, because Margot Robbie is listed as a producer on Barbie. So is Margot Robbie gonna be like Frances McDormand and get the producing nomination and win for Nomadland, and also the Best Actress nomination and win for Nomadland? I don't know. I could just see maybe them going with the Best Picture nom. I could see her getting Best Actress as well. It's tough because even last year with Babylon, Margot Robbie was definitely in contention to be nominated for Best Actress, but Babylon missed Best Picture, and subsequently Margot Robbie didn't get the nomination for Best Actress either, and many thought this was such a grabby, Oscar bait type performance. I think it's one of my favorite performances of Margot Robbie's, and I was gobsmacked she didn't get nominated for that. But it just goes to show a Best Picture nomination can significantly boost your chances of getting an acting nom. Who knows, maybe her Babylon snub last year might actually end up helping her this year. Like, some voters may be thinking, oh, she came pretty close to getting a nomination last year, maybe we should have picked her, and now she's wonderful in the role that she was kind of born to play. Yeah, let's celebrate Margot Robbie this year. She's been paying her dues. She's been nominated twice before for Bombshell and I, Tonya. Could Barbie be her third? So yeah, I need to see some precursor nominations for Robbie in order to make me feel more confident about putting her in my 5, but I certainly would like to see it happen. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall was the first initial performance I watched in 2023 where I thought, okay, that is a Best Actress nominated performance at the Oscars. Anatomy of a Fall ended up winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and now that the film is starting its fall festival circuit tour, it's getting great reactions out of TIFF, overwhelmingly positive, and Sandra Hüller is always mentioned as the standout. Sandra Hüller could be that one European multilingual performance that squeezes into Best Actress. At least I'm hoping she does. Now that I'm seeing such wonderful reactions to this film at TIFF, I do feel more confident in thinking that Anatomy of a Fall is gonna make it into Best Picture at the Oscars. The last few years, we have seen the Academy giving the Palme d'Or winner, apart from Titan, a nomination at the Oscars. So look at Triangle of Sadness and Parasite. And if Anatomy of a Fall does get into Best Picture, then I think Sandra Hüller will come along with it for a Best Actress nomination. This is an incredible performance because Sandra Hüller commands your attention all the way through, but you never quite know where you stand with her character. Is she a criminal mastermind or is she innocent? She gives us enough to make us feel confident that it could go either way, and when we finally get the verdict, we're not sure if it's correct. And like Emma Stone at Venice, Sandra Hüller was widely tipped to be the Best Actress winner at Cannes for this role, but she didn't win it. But I do think she stands a strong chance of getting in at the Oscars because even though she is speaking in French and German in this film, she also has a large chunk of it where she's speaking in English as well, okay? So the performance is going to be accessible to more people than usual. It's also impressive to watch her flip between these 3 different languages. I can see a similar situation manifesting here with Sandra Hüller and Emma Stone, which kind of reflects the year that Emma Stone won her Oscar for La La Land. That year she was up against a renowned European actress, Isabelle Huppert in Elle, But Emma Stone still managed to triumph and win Best Actress, and I think that's because she was the only contender that year in Best Actress who was in a film that was up for Best Picture. Elle wasn't nominated for Best Picture. But yeah, a lot of people were like kind of hoping to see, you know, Isabelle Huppert win for, you know, an impressive, long career. Like, she's, you know, a true sensation, Isabelle Huppert. But now, yes, it could be happening again with Sandra Hüller. Like, she has been around for a while. People are going to be wanting to see her get her dues, or is Emma Stone just gonna triumph with a performance which is in a very strong Best Picture contender? It could happen. All right, let's see, who else do we have? Oh yes, Annette Benning is also getting rave reviews for her sensational performance as swimmer Diana Nyad in the movie Nyad. This film screams Oscar bait to me because Annette Benning is playing Diana Nyad, who at the age of 60 was the first person to ever swim between Cuba and America, okay? First person to do it, amazing accomplishment, and it's that kind of inspiring real life story that's, you know, very feel good and crowd pleasing. I'm guessing, I've not seen the film yet, but from the reactions it seems like people really have been moved by this film. And yeah, it's just that nice, you know, late in life role for Annette Benning as well, because she has been around for a while. She's had 4 previous Oscar nominations, no wins as well. She is kind of someone who's overdue. She's someone who I think should have had an Oscar win like by now. Like I feel like her performance in American Beauty would have been a great win, but she lost that year. And so yeah, it's kind of a bit of a comeback performance for Annette Benning. And yeah, I could potentially see her getting in for Best Actress. Greta Lee is most certainly a contender in my eyes for her beautiful performance in Past Lives. Past Lives has been quietly burning with passion ever since it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, okay? More and more people are discovering this film and falling in love with it, and Greta Lee gives such a delicate but very impactful performance in this as Nora. It's a very grounded and modest performance from Greta Lee, and she does such a magnificent job of conveying so many emotions without dialogue. Like, it's a performance where internally she's saying so much even when her character's not saying anything at all. And the final scene of this film just kind of sneaks up on you, and Greta Lee's performance is so powerful without her doing a whole lot, but it still comes down on you like a ton of bricks, okay? It hit me so hard, she left me weeping. I think Past Lives is definitely getting into Best Picture, and I feel pretty confident that Greta Lee is getting in as well. There's definitely an argument to be made for Natalie Portman to get in for her performance in Todd Haynes' May December. Even though it's camp, it is very enjoyable to watch Natalie Portman play this role where she's playing an actress trying to study the person that she's playing for her next movie role, and it's delicious to watch her do it. It's fun to see her process and how she like starts mirroring Julianne Moore's character. And she also gets a mirror scene, which is kind of reminiscent of Margot Robbie's Aunjanue mirror scene. And Todd Haynes movies do sometimes result in nominations for his female characters. You got Julianne Moore in Far From Home, Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara for Carol, and of course Cate Blanchett again for I'm Not There. I need to see how the film plays out at the full festival circuit, because while it was mostly liked in Cannes, I'm wondering how it's gonna play to other audiences. And of course, there's still loads of performances that I've yet to see, like Jodie Comer in The Bike Riders, Teyana Taylor in 1001, Saoirse Ronan in Foe, Emily Blunt in Pain Hustlers. Interestingly, the film Monica, which got its start at the Venice Film Festival last year, is now being released and is showing a bit of resurgence for Tracy Lysette and her performance as Monica in the movie Monica. And if Tracy Lysette was to get nominated, she would be not the first trans person to get an Oscar nomination, because Elliot Page was nominated for Juno back in the day, but they hadn't transitioned yet. But yes, Tracy Lysette could be the first trans woman to get a nomination for Best Actress, because Elliot Page is a trans man. And probably the most anticipated performance that we've yet to see is Fantasia Barrino in the Color Purple reboot. Is reboot the right word? No. It's a remake. But yeah, Barrino is playing the role of Celie, which is the role that Whoopi Goldberg was nominated for Best Actress for in Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple back in 1984. It's a big, juicy part of Fantasia, and many of us are preemptively expecting to be blown away by this performance. So where am I right now with my predictive 5? Remember, this is stupidly early, okay? I could be way off from what the actual nominations actually end up being, but this is how I feel as of now, in September. But at the moment, I'm leaning more towards the performances which I feel confident are gonna also be nominated for Best Picture as well. So let's go from most likely to least likely. At this moment in time, my number 1 has to be Emma Stone for Poor Things. This film is so hot right now, okay? Critics have been raving about it and Emma Stone's performance, and it won the top prize at Venice, okay? Curiosity for this film is like surging. Now granted, yes, this is an unconventional performance, okay? The Academy has been less than kind to performances in genre films in recent years. Yeah, just look at like Toni Collette in Hereditary, Lupita Nyong'o in Us. Yeah, there's so many great performances in genre picks that just slip through the cracks because they're deemed too weird or too dark or not serious enough. But I think Emma Stone has what it takes to not only get into the Best Actress category, but to also potentially win it. Because this performance is just, it's a tour de force. And in terms of how much character growth there is, the arc that she undergoes, and how versatile the performance is, how she just throws herself into what the script demands, okay? It asks a lot from her, okay? And yeah, it's a total go for broke performance from Emma Stone. And yes, even though the film is odd and weird and peculiar, it's a film that resonates deeply with people because it's all about what it means to be alive and celebrating that, okay? It's something fundamentally that everyone can connect to. And I think this film, despite its weirdness, is gonna be a major player at the Academy Awards. I think it's gonna get a buttload of nominations, and I can't not see Emma Stone going along as part of that package. Like, she has to be it because she is this movie, okay? Like, she needs it, and she does deserve it. But yeah, there is part of me that is still like, well, maybe the genre bias curse is gonna still get us snubbed, and that's gonna be the big shocker. God. Yeah, part of me is nervous that this year there is gonna be, a Daniel Deadwyler snub, like a level of snub that's just so egregious and outrageous that people are gonna cause a fuss because, yeah, there's so many great performances and someone's gonna be upset when someone misses. It's gonna happen. I just don't know who it is yet. But I don't think it's gonna be Emma Stone. I think Emma Stone is getting in, guys, and I think she is a very, very serious contender to win it. She could be looking at a second Best Actress Oscar win. Okay, so at number 2, I have Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. I saw this performance back in May, and I'm still thinking about Sandra Hüller's multifaceted performance now. Okay, it is incredible. I'm feeling more and more confident that Anatomy of a Fall is gonna get a Best Picture nomination, and I think Sandra Hüller is gonna get a Best Actress nomination to go alongside it. It's a barnstormingly good performance, okay? If you want to hear me gush about it, okay, I'll put a link up there to my review. At number 3, I have Greta Lee for Past Lives. Past Lives could actually end up being the dark horse for both Best Picture and Best Actress for Greta Lee. Her performance in Past Lives is similar to that of Frances McDormand's in Nomadland, okay? It's not boastful, but it's very centered and tender, 100% believable. It doesn't even feel like you're watching somebody give a performance, okay? That's how believable it is. It's like you're just observing someone, like the start of this film with the people watching scene when Nora's in the bar. It's such a natural and authentic performance. So yeah, I'm very keen to see how Greta Lee places throughout the race. At number 4, I have Carey Mulligan for Maestro. This performance has Oscar nom written all over it, and Mulligan shines in it. Maestro is definitely gonna play well at the Academy Awards. Like, it's got the backing of Spielberg and Scorsese behind it. So yes, I can see it getting a fair amount of nominations. And because Cooper has graciously shared the spotlight with Mulligan and emphasized that this really is a 50-50 love story movie, I can't see a world where Bradley Cooper gets nominated for Best Actor and Carey Mulligan misses for Best Actress, okay? Like, it's an almost symbiotic on-screen pairing. Like, you can't really have one great performance without the other, okay? Like, they inform and complement each other so much. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it would certainly be weird if one got the nomination and the other missed. As for the 5th spot, this is the toughest one to call because I really am torn between Annette Benning, Margot Robbie, and Fantasia Barrino. Annette Benning because she's an old pro, she's been overlooked by the Academy 4 previous times, and she's found that perfect, crowd-pleasing, inspiring role a little later in her career that is very Oscar baity as well. But the first reactions to Nyad indicate that it's not really a Best Picture contender, which is giving me pause for thought. But when it comes to Best Actress, we already know that you don't necessarily need a Best Picture nomination to go along with it in order to be nominated. Good example is Renee Zellweger in Judy. Barbie really seems like a Best Picture nominee to me. It's one half of Barbenheimer, okay, the 2 movies that actually got people to go back to the cinemas this year, and of course it is the most profitable film of 2023. And so the Academy might want to honor Margot Robbie for playing one of the titular characters from the Barbenheimer phenomenon. However, Barbie is still a fun summer blockbuster movie which got people very excited. And you know what other film was a big summer smash and got people excited and got people to go back to the cinema? Top Gun Maverick, yeah, and a lot of people were sort of thinking that Tom Cruise might end up getting a Best Actor nomination as well because he helped save cinema, and that didn't happen. So I could see the same thing happening for Margot Robbie. Like, the movie gets a bunch of nominations, but Barbie herself doesn't get a nomination. And then there's Fantasia Barrino, who's in a remake of a film that we already know tracked well with the Academy back in 1984. Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple got 11 nominations and 0 wins. It's one of the biggest losers in Academy history. And on film Twitter, we're all kind of collectively prejudging The Color Purple to be this great movie that is going to be a contender and get lots of nominations again. And while there's every reason to think that it could happen, it also might not. But yeah, Fantasia Barrino is automatically showing up in people's Best Actress predictions because Whoopi Goldberg got the nomination for the same part. And as we've seen before with the Academy, they are not afraid to give remakes of popular movies Best Picture nominations, like look at A Star is Born and All Quiet on the Western Front. So yeah, it's only natural to presume that Fantasia Barrino is going to stand a pretty good chance of getting into Best Actress for playing this role. But are we counting our chickens before they've hatched? Are we getting ahead of ourselves here? Out of those 3 performances though, I feel like I should give that 5th slot to the performance that I've actually seen, which is Margot Robbie in Barbie. I've seen that performance 3 times. I know how good it is. I don't actually know yet how good Fantasia Barrino or Annette Benning are in their respective movies yet. This is all just based off reactions on film Twitter, and no one's even seen Fantasia Barrino yet anyway, so we're just going off the trailer for her. And I also can see a pathway for Natalie Portman or Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor getting into Best Actress. It's just I don't have them in my 5 right now because I didn't have that immediate knee-jerk reaction thinking like, oh yes, this is gonna be a Best Actress nominated performance. But then again, I don't always get the knee-jerk feeling. Like last year when I saw Everything Everywhere, I didn't immediately think, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna get a nomination for this. And she went all the way and won it, okay? Like, it took me a while to see it. I needed to see some evidence of it. And yeah, that could be happening here with, like, say, Natalie Portman or Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor. So, yeah. Yeah, who am I gonna give that 5th spot to? So yeah, between Annette Benning, Margot Robbie, and Fantasia Barrino, I'm gonna give the 5th slot at the moment to Annette Benning for Nyad. Even though it seems like less of a Best Picture contender, and I also haven't seen the performance, it does tick enough criteria for me to think, oh, she could get in for this performance. Like, she's playing a real-life figure, the story is feel-good and inspiring, and yeah, she's kind of got that comeback role, you know, a role that comes just at the right time, a little later in the career, and yeah, really makes a splash. I may change my opinion in a few weeks once I've actually seen Nyad at the London Film Festival. If you don't want to miss that review, be sure to click the subscribe button. So that's where I'm at currently with the Best Actress race this year. One thing we know for certain, that it is going to be a fierce selection of ladies this year, always is. But yeah, were there any performances that I missed or I should be looking out for? Do let me know in the comment section below. Also, do let me know your current predictions for Best Actress in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Harefield, and I'll see you next time.